Well, it's nice to see that first record out again.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to a guy today. He used to work in a record store, and he bought a copy of the first record, and then stole the play copy from the record store, and then he sold the play copy to a buddy of his for $100.
Yeah.
That's what kind of value that people place on that album. Why has it been gone for so long?
Because of the dinosaur aspect of the business from the last time. It's really all business why it wasn't out.
Well, that was on, wasn't it on Loose Groove, on Stone's record?
It was on Loose Groove, who's Stone Gossard, who's a great guy who actually gave me my record back because Loose Groove went out of business, and so getting that record in North America just went nope. And so you sit there and you go, okay, I don't own this thing, and I don't have the right to do anything with it. And the label's gone, and so what do I do? You know?
Oh, so it's one of those limbo things.
Yeah, and then Roadrunner, which is a notoriously soul-sucking label, you know, had the license to do it for the rest of the world. So I had to basically wait until that was over. And once it was over, Stone, just being an artist and the cool guy that he is, was like, you can have your record, which he didn't need to do. But that was like, that's one of those things that just gives me hope, you know, at all, where you're like, Stone Gossard equals awesome. Yeah. You know?
Well, I'm glad it's out. It's cool to see the bonus tracks on it, and it's cool to see you guys performing it front to back, because when was the last time that happened? 97?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of the things that's really helped me a lot as a person, this record, because, you know, you get things when you get, I'd like to think that if you're trying to grow as a person, that you get the things you need right when you need them, you know, like for your guts, you know, for your mind and for your heart and stuff, and I needed something.
Yeah, for us, it's been really great, just as a band, to regroup and play the first record like how it is.
How long had it been? It would been like,
I mean, for us playing together, it'd been almost 2 years since we'd played.
I think it was more than 2 years.
Might have been even longer, because we were all doing stuff, you know, other stuff. But to get back and play the first record and rediscover it in its simplicity has been so, like, key for us to, like, make more music in the future, just to get back together.
It actually stopped us from, we were about to start making a record, and it stopped us because it was like, no, let's, like, just let this go first. Yeah. Let this happen first, and then go back to music, the making music, with that sort of inside you already. You know?
Now, if I can make an observation, there doesn't seem to be a shred of nostalgia with this. This is kind of like an author rereading a book that they had written many years ago, and being quite surprised that it is as good as they remembered or hoped it would be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with the non-nostalgia part. I'd like to think that the record stands up, but that's not. I feel like it's not up to the band to decide, you know. And but I do feel curious about it personally. Like, wow, look at it. It does feel like, wow, look at this thing. This thing still works. Yeah. You know, it feels like an old machine, which is all. It was created new as an old machine, you know. And to see it like, wow, this thing still picks lettuce is amazing, you know.
That's an odd analogy, but okay. How many tracks from the album were you playing over the years as part of a Queen set?
I think there's maybe one that we did not play.
Oh. No, there's more. We didn't do Rope, we didn't do the Bronze, we didn't do Mule, we didn't, I mean, with almost, it was hardly ever.
Hardly ever, yes, yeah.
It was like maybe once every couple of years, one.
Yeah.
And then Hand Model, never.
Never. That's the one that we just, that was what I was saying.
And then, but respectively, we're playing the songs kind of identical to where, like, playing the leads exactly.
As they were?
Yeah.
And the having lots of space, too, because it was recorded basically, you know, with one guitar, one bass, one drum, and that's great, because when other instruments come in, it really colors it.
Yeah, there's a dynamic, like the examination of that, you know, has us all laying in and laying out too, which is good as a musician to remember to lay out.
Yeah. Space is important.
Over the years, you get so conditioned to, like, I got to get in there, you know, and it's like that patience and the more examination of how to play one single note with enough feeling to translate than ripping through something.
Right.
Is a really big deal.
Well, that's the Queen's signature. I mean, guys like Tom Morello do it very well too. I mean, they really let their guitars breathe.
Yeah.
And it's less is more in those particular cases. So for you guys, this is essentially going back and playing a brand new record because it's been so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's just the people are discovering it for the first time too while we're out touring it, and that's part of the idea as well. You know,
there's an interesting thing that's happened too that we didn't. You just don't think about before, which is that you know, we said, well, okay, well, let's play small venues. Let's play just the first record from start to finish, and it seems very simple. And then all of a sudden, you realize the people that go out and get tickets are your most diehard fans. And so every single night, I literally every single night we end the first song, and I'm always taken aback, like, wait a minute, I thought no one has heard this record before. But we end Regular John, and people. They're freaking the fuck out. And I think our natural reaction, certainly mine, is like, no, do you know this is just the first record? This is the record no one heard, you know? This is the record that we had to buy twice just to sell that many copies, you know?
So do you have your own label now? Is it Records Records? Mm-hmm. And so that's, I guess, your own imprint that you're going to have distributed through?
Yeah, I mean, I've had it for years. I haven't done that much because there's been so much going on that doing all that stuff it's a lot of work. Is the one drawback to all this, you know. I mean, there's what's funny is you know, in some ways you damn the monster, and in some ways you miss the monster. It's a lot of work to have a label too.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
What if you just want to play?
Yeah.
You're kind of in big trouble.
Well,
right now.
this is why people you know, signed with major labels in the first place, because they thought they could just be musicians.
Yeah. It's stupid to just be a musician. Come on. You have to be you know.
I asked on Twitter this afternoon for a bunch of questions, and I got a bunch from around the world.
You got a bunch of twits?
I do have a bunch of twits with me here. This is
tweets. That's not
tweets,
right.
Sorry.
Tweets sounds like something you would have a set of.
There's a lot of tweets.
Like a salt and pepper tweets. Okay. Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys. So you helped out on this new record?
I sang on a song with Alex, which was great. I loved. Yeah, it was great. I love those guys.
We haven't heard anything from the album other than the first track that came out a little while.
Oh, did it come out already?
There was one track that's floating around that I've heard.
You know, when I went in to listen to, they were doing it in LA at this place that we've recorded at many times, Sound City, and I went in and you know, with bands that I like, when their new records come out, I always and if you get to go in the studio and listen to something like that in that volatile moment, you know, it was just rough mixes. But I love rough mixes because you just turn up your favorite shit really quick, and leave that there, you know. And so I always get nervous, like, oh God, please let it be. And I listened to 5 or 6 songs, and I was just like ecstatic.
Alex is smart. He's
a smart kid.
He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah. One of the best lyricists I've ever stood next to.
This is from Christine. She is in Boston. She says, "Thank you for clearing up the mystery of the smoke machine." I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's a reference to, we played a place in Boston called the Middle East. And I think it was actually it was during the first record, and I think it was a radio station. It was like, we're doing the show, so we're putting up these banners behind it on the side of you and everywhere. But we just don't do that, you know? And, you know, being particularly stony in that time in my life, I was like, okay, you can do it. And then, but unbeknownst to them, we had 4 smoke machines. So we turned them on, offsetting the entire night, and no one in the audience could see us. We couldn't see each other. And it was an hour and a half long. It was almost like, it was an impossible idea, you know? And so I said, you can put up as many banners as you want to, actually, but knowing that this is going to be, and it became this classic. There's actually a video, and all you see is white. And you hear the music blowing out the camera, you know?
This is from Doug. He says, Josh, do you take any credit for the new Foos album being so heavy?
No. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer for me to say Dave is his own man, and Dave is. I would love to take credit for everything good that Dave did right now. and if there was something not good, that was one of the other guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this one. What is your singular favorite note on a guitar?
I've been really getting into the harmonic at D on the 10th fret lately. I guess, it's been showing up a lot.
It has been showing up a lot. You're right.
So it's.
I get
what's
that.
your favorite note?
That one's good. I like the open B string along with any other note.
Oh, so you like the jangly rolling.
I like to jangle a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. That's a fair question, actually.
It is?
Yeah.
See, I play drums, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, there's this stuff called being a musician.
All right. This is from Tom from Buffalo. Buffalo Tom. Regarding the intense scent of awesomeness that you give off, is there any way that you can market that into a bar of soap or underarm spray?
God, I'm really glad that Buffalo Tom is asking that. I'm wondering how close he's been to.
I don't know.
And it's really Troy that smells terrific. At least one time per record, we used as a temporary title, Troy smells terrific.
Really?
Yeah, what do you wear again?
Can I say this?
Sure.
It's called Jupe.
Jupe.
Oh, yeah.
I always jokingly say it's Drakkar because you can buy it at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
But that's because frankly, I'm quite jealous.
Nothing wrong with
I'm
Jupe.
working on a scent, just so everybody knows.
So I guess, the answer to that would be maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Queens over the years, and I've noticed that albums all have a very different feel to them. Would you attribute this to a conscious choice, or more to how you and/or other band members are feeling at the time? Did you start out with a particular goal to make an album sound a certain way, or did it just become that? That's from Alistair.
We've made every record under the guise of making it a certain way. And one of the key things to making each record a certain way is to not make it like one of the other ones.
Yeah.
But that they sort of somehow dovetail together, I mean, it's not a concept. It's just a loose way to tie them all together, The first record is supposed to be an exercise in simplistic repetition for girls, basically like heavy music that girls could like, And Rated R is supposed to fan it out,
Back to girls. Who's on the cover of that first record?
It's the first black supermodel. I've always been obsessed with like pushing people's buttons, and seeing what you just push and then see. Oh, I shocked a rat over there. Oh, I did. The girl smelled a flower with this button. Just the. And the idea was like if you put someone's crotch just like this, will some stores carry it or not? And then some didn't, Like at the time it was like Kmart or something. And then I showed them a picture of their catalog, which the underwear part of the catalog, which is the same photos, and then they took the record.
Oh, really?
But then Interscope had a problem with the next record, so it was called Rated R, because I thought there was all this PMRC stuff happening, which seems like total bullshit, It's just a photo op for politicians and people, parental advisory. So I thought if it's called Rated R, it's pre-censored, so it doesn't need a sticker, and it didn't because of that logic, which seemed really stupid to me.
Yeah.
It seemed like here's a really dumb idea, and let's see if you're going to go for it. And then they were like, well, it seems okay, and I'm doing it, because it was restricted to everyone, everywhere, all the time. So it was like, okay, well, everyone's safe. You don't have to do anything.
There is an album by a Canadian band called Moxie from 1977-ish called Jump On It. You want something in your face? There you go.
Jump on it in your face.
Oh boy.
I'm willing to, yeah.
I will see if we can find a copy of the album and show you the cover. I mean, I remember seeing it as like a 10-year-old or 12-year-old in Kmart and going, Mommy.
Yeah.
Like,
Mommy.
What is that? Whoa.
How do I jump on it? And she's like, well, you got to have the Moxie to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but the funny thing is that like watching, seeing Herb Alpert covers and stuff like that.
Some of that stuff in the '60s was really,
It's incredible.
really
It's incredible.
provocative.
And I've always been obsessed with the line, like where you have a foot in each, and the line is splitting you up the center. You know, how do you poke and hold at the same time? You know, so. Yeah.
Another question. This is from Elena. She wants to know if you've had any sort of communication with Scott Reeder.
Yeah, I just had an email with Scott. Next.
Okay.
No, I love Scott. He's one of the greatest bass players of all time.
And then somebody says, Wither Nick.
Yeah, I see Nick all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's no one's business, but I'll say anyways, is that, you know, I've had a great relationship with Nick my whole life, and you know, there was a situation that occurred, but within a couple months I was talking to Nick again. And, you know, Nick's playing with John, and they're doing a Caius reunion, and I love those guys, and you know, which I think is awesome too. You know, so maybe that'll take away one of the next question.
Desert Session stuff. What's the future of that?
I really would love to do another one of those. It's just a matter of timing. You know, there's been so much going on, as I said before, that. But I'd like to make that the longest running mixtape ever, so I have to keep doing them. You know.
Well, how long has it been now?
10. There's 10 of them.
Yeah.
10 of them, so it's got to be at least a few hours. I think I'm still in normal mixtape length.
Please don't play the same encore as Montreal, because many of us will be there tonight. We went to Montreal on Saturday.
We're playing a different one every night.
There you go.
we kind of decide at that moment what we're gonna play.
You know that we've been, because it's the first record and we never really have played the same set before. It's a new experience for us to do it every night. But what's great is that we can play stuff, anything we want when we come. We feel like it frees you to play anything. Play just deep cuts as an encore. You know.
Well, yeah, because again, you've got your super duper hardcore fans coming out to these
That's all
days.
that's there.
So they know all the B-sides, bonus tracks, and imports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they've been asking for stuff that we actually haven't been playing too, where we're like, oh, we didn't rehearse that one, sorry. They've been going deeper than we're able to go.
I'm always interested to know what a band thinks their own music would look like as a color. What color is Queens of the Stone Age music?
Plaid.
What color plaid? We haven't decided yet,
Okay.
but there is definitely.
No, I just thought I'd ask. And finally, we have to, I guess, touch on them Crooked Vultures. Obviously, everybody's off doing other things right now.
Yeah.
But when I talked to you guys last time, you expressed an interest that this would be like an ongoing thing, that every once in a while you guys would boomerang back together and do something else.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's like Eagles of Death Metal or Sweethead or the things we do that I just assume that these things are now just part of life, you know. That's the way I assume them.
How many bands are you in?
It doesn't matter, you know. It's just as many as sound good. That's my business model. Consistency is king. Now I know that I can't get everyone to agree with my idea of consistency, but I agree with it, you know. And I just don't want to have any shitty songs, and that's all I'm trying to do is pick those, you know, those bad apples out of the bunch.
What's the status of Eagles of Death Metal right now?
Jesse Hughes is making a solo record, which is so awesome.
Stunning, yeah.
It's so fun, and it's, you know, normally I don't know if that gets attached to rock and roll enough anymore, fun and rock and roll, but it is just like, it's like watching a bunch of Super Balls be dumped off the 10th floor, you know, you're just like, oh my God, you know, it's pretty cool.
All right, well, you guys have a show to do tonight. I appreciate the time.
Good to talk to you again.
Good to see that you're still alive and around.
Yeah,
Congratulations
great to see
on the new addition to the family. When she do?
In August. Yeah.
Oh, I got a long time then.
Yeah.
My dad can go out on the road for most of the
The
summer.
whole time.
They were there. All right, well, thanks, guys, and good luck with the show tonight and the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
you.
ExploreMusic wears English Laundry apparel.